بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته. All you who believe fear Allah as He should be feared. I'm going to go straight into it. There are many parents who do not fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when it comes to what? To marriage. Not to their marriage, to the marriage of their children. And specific cultures that are just, sorry to say, proper, outright, selfish, evil selfish. And I'll explain to you why, psychologically, and why from Islamic perspective, this is wrong. So, a lot of these parents, they think that they're marrying the other person, that their son or their daughter is married. You're not marrying them, man. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, dear uncles and dear aunties. And if you're Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how dare you interfere in your child's marriage to the point that you're manipulating them, making them choose between you and them, making them, when they're not bad people. And they're not like Ibrahim alayhi salam telling his son to change his doorstep because that woman was just not the right woman. These are both, man and woman who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as they can. And they're trying their best, and you are interfering, manipulating them emotionally, using the deen, using a hadith isolated from the context and from other hadith to manipulate them and put them in a hard position to choose and even break in marriages. Fear Allah. And it happens the worst to women. Why? Because this so-called strong bond, and we've spoken about this quite a few times, it's usually between mommy and mommy's boy. How does this bond happen? And why does mommy become so darn selfish? Because mommy does something, in a sense, I don't really like the terms all the time, but I'll explain the concept and can even name a term. But mommy does something called emotional incest. She basically dumps and connects on him all her emotions because of a failed marriage that she herself had with her husband. And now she basically defaulted onto the next man to her, which is usually the oldest son or one of the sons that will kind of cave in and do this. And a lot of times, some of these things are even outright haram. I got sons sleeping in their mother's bed and they're in their 20s, leaving their wife's bed and going and sleeping with their mothers. It's not permissible, bro. It's not like giving your mom a cuddle or a hug or this and that. This is like you're talking about sleeping in the same bed at night with your older mother, and you are in your 20s. A'udhu billah. What's wrong with you? Okay? So, people need to understand the problem of such a behavior. But again, it happens between mommy and mommy's boy. She trains mommy's boy. She gets him to be attached to her, to be relying upon her, which means he does not develop a spine in the back. He's not a real man. He's a boy. And he continues to be a boy forever if he doesn't change until he realizes it. But now, mommy says, okay, you can get married. And notice, father is like almost non-existent. Why? First of all, because father probably had problems with mommy in the first place. Mommy didn't have a good relationship with daddy and hooked up to the son. And the father doesn't want to deal with the marriage or whatever you want, son, whatever your mom says. That kind of weak man as well. All right? But mommy now controls everything. And finally she gives permission to boy to get married. And now she manipulates everything. She chooses the girl. Not just that she wants to manipulate. Why? Because she projects herself onto the relationship now. It's almost like she's the girl. She's the one experiencing some sort of, kind of like a marriage, I guess, again. She's trying to make it not like her failed marriage with her husband. You understand what I mean? So in a sense, she's playing the role in the marriage, almost like shadowing the woman and almost like trying to replace her, but while still she's there, because obviously there's that intimate restriction. You understand? It's a very deep psychological thing, but it's a very real thing. And the woman, the mother, pushes the son when things don't go, because obviously the women who marry these sons, they're gonna realize soon that well, this guy is not very good. He's just a weak man. Okay, this guy is a weak man. I don't like it. I'm gonna have to request and demand my rights. And now the boy is stuck between the wife and the mommy. And guess who he's gonna choose? He's gonna choose the mommy. He's gonna, he took the woman. He took this mithaq ghalid. He's, this heavy, heavy responsibility. He has taken her virginity. He has, told her that this is gonna happen. Yeah, I'm a man, this and that. The girl didn't know what she's getting herself into. She couldn't realize. A lot of these things are very, very subtle. You can't. It's very difficult to tell unless you spend a lot of time and vet a lot of time, and you're really good at vetting. You might be able to catch these as a woman. So now she's lost her virginity. She's given herself to this man. She's spent time with him. She's invested. And now this guy's mommy's boy. He's a little boy, a shameful boy. And his mom is a shameless woman who is emotionally damaged from her husband or whatever, her relationship that failed. And now she's putting that onto him and willing to risk and to make him choose and to divorce his wife over mommy. And she doesn't care about his happiness. All she cares in the end, she won't even be happy, by the way, is just about her managed misery. That with her son around, at least she doesn't feel as miserable as she feels when she's with her husband. So, parents, fathers, and taking control, bro. You're letting the girls manage these things. You're letting your wife to manage. That's why women are not walis in marriages, okay? That's why women are usually not involved, even though so many cultures involve women all the time in the process of marriage. I'm not saying that they're never involved. Like, for example, the Prophet ﷺ, when he married Khadija, there was a woman that was coming and this and that and was conveying the message. It's no issue, but these women were not with this kind of bad intention. But I'm talking about when a woman manages everything and the husband is not even there. He's not even, present. No. Okay, so guys, take hold of this. Mothers, fear Allah. What's wrong? What do you have with your boy? Look at that woman who's coming from a different family. What's her fault? You are a woman yourself. You're supposed to connect to the other women, help each other, and sisters. You're sisters. Why are you doing this to her? If your marriage failed, why does her marriage have to fail? And that's the problem with sisters. SubhanAllah, may Allah guide them. If your marriage failed, why do you want your sister's marriage, i.e. your Muslim sister, to fail? And you're pushing your son to fail the marriage. Why? So you can have some sort of a, you're just gonna be not miserable because now your son is still with you. Nah. Let them live, man. Let them live. Let them have their lives. Let them, be together. Just let them be together. Let them have their own family. MashaAllah, look at this family here. Or ducks, or geese. Even animals, man. Come on, animals they live together, they take care of each other, but they, MashaAllah, they understand what's going on. Why are humans hating on each other so much? Why are humans hating on each other so much? Why do not they like to see another person succeed? Why this jealousy that's masked as piety? It's masked as piety. And last but not least, mama's boys. Bro, fear Allah, bro. You're such a weak man. We live in a world of weak men. Mama's boys, spoon-fed, Fajr missing, PlayStation 5 playing, porn addicted, fat belly, weak, cannot dress, always wearing the same shirt, men cannot even drive stick shift, let alone freaking drive a horse or fight or forget about it, or being like a strong provider. Nah, you live in a time where he's scared of his shadow. He can only do good online when typing. Mama's boy, wake up, bro. Wake up. Go to the gym. Go experience some roughness, bro. Be a man. Don't let your mom ruin your life, brother. Don't let your dad ruin your life, brother. Don't let your mom and your dad ruin the life of that woman who has nothing to do with them from the beginning. Anyway, in the beginning. That you deceived and brought into your family for what? To destroy her life, man? Let her go marry real men. If there are some there. Inshallah, there are still. Come on. Fear Allah, bro. Mama's boy. Fear Allah, bro. May Allah guide you. This is very bad, very, very bad. And again, mother and father, auntie and uncle, fear Allah. It's not your marriage. Don't you want to see your children happy? Because you were miserable, you want to see them miserable. Wallahi, this is horrible, horrible. I'm really, really upset when I see these things. I've talked about this before. I wish, and I keep saying, imams, please speak about this. Khatibs, people in charge in the community, Muslim community, please teach your communities these issues. If you continue to raise awareness in the khutbahs, in the lectures, you keep talking about like things that happened 400 or 500 years ago, man. Talk about today. And if you are talking about what happened 500 years ago, connect it till today. Teach your followers real issues and solve them, and teach the parents to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to be careful. Let their children get married and live in peace and in prosperity, not with them interfering in every single thing, man. Ya Allah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us, wallahi. May Allah help us, ameen. Let me know what you think in the comments. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.